Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. So today, if you couldn't tell already by the thumbnail, we are drawing Barbara from Genshin Impact. So Barbara is the absolutely adorable character from Genshin Impact. She's one of the starter characters in the game. She is a healer, and she also sings in the choir in the game, and she's like very popular. Everybody loves Barbara for her voice and her singing, and she's just overall just a very happy and bubbly character. She starts off doing these little poses in her idol phase, and I really wanted to bring that to life, so I decided to I logged into the game and did my own little screenshots of what I wanted. It's very hard to capture these screenshots, by the way, because they move so quickly. But I was able to finally get the right pose I wanted. So I did have a bit of a struggle in the beginning with the pose, with the hand up, and I didn't want it to block too much of the face, because I noticed sometimes some people, whenever they draw her in this pose, it does kind of block a good bit of her face. So I kind of did it at an angle, and then you see me working on some little background stuff. But as usual, I lay down my base sketch, and then I do up to 3 sketches over that just to refine stuff as to where I want everything to be. Thankfully, Barbara's outfit is not too terribly complicated, but I think that is one part that is also a downfall, because everybody else's outfits in Genshin are so complicated that I kind of was like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. Something needs to be worked this way or that way a little bit better. But overall, it turned out pretty good, I would say. I'll leave that up to y'all to judge as well. So as you could tell by the way the template is, I did a 5x7 canvas on Procreate. And my reasoning for this is because for future conventions, I would like to probably have this one sell as a print, because it's just adorable. I mean, you can't argue that Barbara isn't just the cutest thing ever. She's one of, like I said in the beginning, the starter characters in Genshin Impact. I think that you actually get Barbara once you complete one of the quests in the beginning of the game, and she is a fabulous healer, and also she does really good damage as well if you level her up that way too. I'm still having an issue getting her beloved artifacts. It was if I'm not mistaken, it's the gauntlet that I just cannot ever get a good 5-star gauntlet for her. So I'm still continuously working on that as well. I hope everybody, like I said in the beginning, is doing well, and that y'all enjoy these little Procreate time lapses as I explain my process. So for the hand, I actually ended up taking a picture of my own hand. So excuse her fingers looking a little short and stubby for a bit. But I did have a little issue just because of the way that the outfit kind of covers part of the arm and the wrist. It kind of threw off my perception of how exactly to place the hand. So I did resketch that a couple of times as well. The sketching portion on this one, I did take a minute to do. Now on the actual drawing canvas itself, let me pull it back up. It says, which honestly I don't believe half of these numbers. On the statistics, it actually says that my track time is 8 hours, but honestly, I started this sketch on her on the 7th of this month, and I've been continuously working on it, like 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and just going back and forth, because needless to say, with I really tried hard to get Arlecchino's weapon on the Genshin banner, but I was unsuccessful. So with this new banner, it is Baiju and the Wonder on it. Needless to say, I've got both characters, and the Wonder is C6'd. So I'm going to focus on getting Baiju's weapon, because I have the Wonder's weapon. But anyways, as I was saying, I've been playing a lot of gaming. So I've been taking time between drawing, so half the time I feel like the screen is more idle, but I honestly don't understand how they do the track time. But so as you can see, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there for a second. I'm going through and I'm laying down the base colors. So as usual, I end up laying down the base colors, and then I merge my No, I select my color, my sketch, and any other colors related to the main character, and I group that. And then whenever I group it, I duplicate it, and then I'll turn off that bottom layer, and then I'll flatten my sketch and everything all into one, and then I go coloring on top of it. It's probably pretty redundant, and one day I'll probably find a better way to do this, but for right now it seems to be working out pretty good. So in Genshin Impact, who is your favorite character? I've mentioned before that if I had to choose, I'd definitely choose Barbara and Zhongli. So that's one reason why I decided to draw Barbara, because I think it's the last video or the video before I mentioned I needed to draw her. I've never drawn her before, so this was a big time learning curve, and especially with the ringlets and everything. Maybe I should do like a video sketching session and just sketch one of the characters in different poses and idle poses, and just to learn more about them. If y'all would be interested in something like that, just let me know in the comments, and I'm continuing to learn with each one. So as you saw the flashing before, I've mentioned it, it's kind of hard to show in the actual time lapse, but I've switched between the previous drawing layer and then my current one, just to see how far I've come and if it's going in the right direction. And majority of the time it does go in the right direction. So I try to add in some background. I was debating on whether to put her background like she's in the cathedral area of the church, but then I was like, I really want it to be light and airy, and Barbara with clouds behind her, it just seems to suit her very well. And then I wanted to do some little bubbles behind her and stars as seen in my reference photo. And how I did that, I ended up actually using it's like a star stamp in the Procreate Basic Brushes. And so I ended up using a couple of those, and then I would take my paintbrush that I've been using, do little circles, and then I would go and do chromatic aberration, and then I do the Gaussian blur, just to help to make it not so sharp and condensed. And then I ended up doing like an add layer. So I realized that I started coloring part of the background into the drawing, so that's whenever you saw the background go white, I ended up going back and erasing around the main drawing, because I sure didn't mean to do that. So here we are in the more of refining of the overall drawing. So on this banner is anybody wishing for Baiju and the Wanderer. And of course, if you're seeing this like way in the future, who are you wishing for currently? Like I said before, I'm just going to focus on the weapon banner this go around. And then maybe on the next banner, depending on what characters it is, I'll wish on that. Her outfit, like I said, was pretty simple. And then I tried to like not oversimplify it too much either. I try to put a good bit of detail into her little book that she uses, and just the small stuff here and there that seem to stand out most on her outfit. I think it has some of the biggest issues because in my mind I'm thinking of her dress being like pure white, but really it's not pure white. If depending on, of course, the lighting and setting that you have it in, it'll either have a yellow hue or a blue hue. And so that's why I ended up taking part of the background at some points and putting it on the white part of the dress, and then color selecting that color. And it worked out in a couple areas, and then I'll end up putting a multiply layer on top to kind of darken some stuff up and do some more definition. I will say, for this drawing, I did use a lot of add layer and multiply layer. And then towards the end, once again, I would like copy my canvas and paste it and duplicate that. And then what I would do is I would put the top layer as a soft light layer, push that transparency down to like 40-50%, and then I go to the gradient maps, and I've been playing with those lately. I haven't really made my own gradient map. I'm still learning how best to use them, but the preset gradient maps that's in Procreate are pretty easy and nice to use, and sometimes add a little bit more color, and it helps to brighten up those colors. So I did try to do an overlay layer just to give her more color, and then I go back, of course, with a more brighter color on top for the way the light's reflecting. yeah, Barbara, she's just so cute in general. I just love her whole entire persona and her outfit, and it's just adorable that she's always makes the comment of that she hopes that she can be as tall as her big sister one day. And for those who don't know, she does have a big sister in the game, and her big sister is Jean. I hope that's not a spoiler for some people. I mean, the game's been out for a while, but it's just so adorable that she really looks up to and aspires to want to be like her big sister. But yes, here we are. If there's any other characters in the future that you would like to see a time lapse of, just let me know in the comments and I will try to make that happen. I'm currently working on the rest of them that have birthdays this month, and of course I'm going to try to do this throughout the whole entire year, is do everybody's birthday with the character for Genshin Impact, and then also put like some characters in between. It'll definitely give me more practice on how best to do the anime / semi-realistic maybe style, but it's all a learning curve. But I really do like the more anime look of drawings, and for prints especially. Let's see what else to talk about at this point in time. We've got like maybe 3 more minutes left of this video. It's kind of sometimes hard to tell. I understand with the time lapse as to where exactly I am in the drawing process. I will say at one point I will start to outline parts of the character. So okay, right there I decided at first I was gonna like copy and paste and flip her hair, but that didn't work out. It was kind of hard to figure out the way the ringlets are supposed to go on the other side with the hand halfway covering it. So that's one thing I do feel like I need to work on in the future, is like how in the world to draw ringlets and curls. I love curly hair. It's very interesting to draw. Once again, I wish I would have branched out more and done more like little hair wispies, but Barbara, all of her hair and everything is like so perfect and like within line that she doesn't really seem like the one that would like have a whole bunch of like stray hairs everywhere. Now her sister Jean would probably have more hair coming from like her ponytail, but I just feel like her hair is pretty structured the way it is. One other interesting thing that I sometimes do like to do is take the multiply layer and go back and select the lighter color of the hair and go over all of the hair. This helps to bring out some more of the color hue of the base color, because sometimes things just get so washed out, and I try to not make it too bland. Is that the right word? Bland, washed out, too soft, because also she has a pretty soft background, but yeah, I want her to stand out. Now closer towards the end, you'll notice I start messing with the background a little bit. I actually make it a little bit darker, not a whole terribly much, but just enough to where Barbara can kind of stand out more versus blend it into the background. That is one hard thing I will say that I've had with the whites is getting the colors correctly on shading and try not to be too dark, and it's a whole ordeal. Overall, I would imagine that this drawing in total, like the rest, probably took 4 to 5 hours. I feel like a majority of my screen probably was more so with it being left open and idle, which I have a very bad habit of doing, so my time lapses are not probably always accurate, but if it is accurate, that was a pretty long time on this piece, even though it's probably the most simplest piece that I've drawn so far. But yes, I really enjoyed it. I really want to draw Barbara some more. She's just so adorable. With that being said, we have now come to the end of this video, and I hope that everybody enjoyed this process. And until the next one, I hope everybody does well. Until next time, bye-bye.